Welcome to Web Manga. I am Agent Manga, and this is Solo Leveling Chapter 123. And fun fact about this video, it's the first one I've ever done as an 18-year-old. So I'm 18 now, and this is a pretty good time because, fun fact, my birthday was on Thursday this week, which is when the chapters come out, and well, I read the original translations, so it was a pretty good birthday for me. And we start off with, like, in Japan, like the Short Sword Guild from like the Jeju Island raid. Some of this chapter is based with the Jeju Island raid, explaining like what the ignore the Jeju Island raid, deal with the giant S rank portal above the Japan. So, and it's also brought up that two other guild, like they did lose 7 S rank members of their guild, which was a pretty big knock to their power, and plus their leader was in fact defeated, so it left them leaderless for a little bit. And like 2 other guilds are combining together to make an even stronger guild, well, a guild that's hopefully trying to take on their ranks. And it's just, these guys are basically thinking, oh, these weaklings are trying to take our power. These little weaklings are trying to gather power so they can take us on. Yeah, you guys lost some of your greatest warriors, and Sung Jin-woo only took down the thing that took all of you down. So you have no real leg to stand on saying you are unbelievably powerful. And I have to say that many of these members are in fact complaining about the Red Gate, and there is an explanation on, I'll just skip to like the end. Like there's this S rank guy who can like create a seal around the S rank gate before it breaks, which means that he can keep it up and they can try to get like a whole bunch of other bounty hunters basically together to basically go into the portal and I think deal with it, because I don't think they're ready to deal with it right now. They don't have enough time to gather enough troops, although it is really expensive to really get him. Like I think it's 3.6 billion a year, but I can't remember it exactly. I think it's like 10 point something million, and it's just like all these people are like the whole Hunters Association in Japan are trying to figure out, because they just dealt with Jeju Island. They're not ready for an S rank in the capital of Japan, which means that all of them are just trying to keep appearances up. They're trying to gather enough guys to deal with this. And I have to say, yeah, they need to try to get as many troops together so they can deal with this portal. I say call Sung Jin-woo since he was the one who dealt with the last one, but maybe this one's even stronger than, because we definitely see like the difference between the levels of Jeju Island versus the only other S rank gate we have an example of, which is the one that has the Dragon Gate, which wiped out all of the western side of America, which is pretty impressive. I'd have to say that dragon was far stronger than Biru. Maybe this gate is higher than the Jeju Island gate. Anyways, maybe that's why they don't just call in Sung Jin-woo. They don't think that he's strong enough to deal with that gate. Anyways, we get Sung Jin-woo in like his van, where he's bringing up how he's now level 101, which, yeah, I'm kind of glad that it took a little bit longer between Jeju Island and, like, leveling up will be a more, what's the best way to describe it? It's a more fitting thing to get. It's going to be a lot harder to level up. And, an example is that at level 100 he got the key to the Cardinal Temple, which is where that monster with a giant statue thing, which I think is like one of the admins of this game. Like, I don't know what's going on, and that's what I really want to figure out. And at level 101 he's getting like all these boosts to all his stats, to like all his monarch based abilities, like except for Dominator's Touch for some reason. Oh, and it's pretty good. And then like we get another Sung Jin-woo Cha chapter, where basically Cha shows up to his guild area. Sung Jin-woo's like, why is she here? And he like basically flash steps in front of Cha, being like, if you're going to come to my place, why are you going to run away? And then she's like, because Sung Jin-woo is so much more powerful than her. He is top tier in this world. And he's just like, and she's like, I parked my car here, so I kind of needed to get it. And Sung Jin-woo is like, oh, since we used Shadow Exchange last time, she couldn't use her car to get there. So that explains it. And then like Sung Jin-woo and then we get like, she wants to talk to Sung Jin-woo about something. Well, she wants to talk to him about a lot of things, like the picture on Instagram, why the other S rank, why she's not a part of the guild since S ranks are better than A ranks, and why are you two dating at all? That's what she's thinking. And although she doesn't say any of that stuff, we do know that she wants to talk about that type of stuff. And then she talks about what Byung-gu talked about his powers, about how, I'm gonna abridge it, it's just like he's afraid of his power because when he resurrects somebody, it's making them serve him, but it's not a bad thing to those people who are resurrected. They want to serve him, which is kind of weird, but it's like they enjoy serving him. We don't get much explanation on what's going on, but he mentions that the Shadow Army isn't Sung Jin-woo's true army, which is not told in this chapter, which I say is kind of being blue-balled on what the hell is going on. But I do have to say that it's a good thing to like hang off on. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it later, but not right now. And then we cut to Sung Jin-woo remembering it, and he's eating basically a Subway. And he's thinking, Cha told me all this stuff about my powers and how I should be worried about it. And like, they're in their dungeon basically clearing it with all the shadows. And we also get an explanation on why Sung Jin-woo needs to be in combat, because his shadows take experience points from him. So he can't just let them have it. He needs to like gain experience points himself, or he might level down. That's pretty crap for him, but I'd have to say it is a smart idea. It's a good way to explain what the hell is going on, why he doesn't just let his shadows solo it. And plus we get to see the ant try to eat something again. It is the same ant. It is, in my head, it is the exact same ant that keeps doing this. He keeps eating the naga, he ate the vampire, he ate all the things. He's just a gluttonous ant. And Sung Jin-woo does bring it up, like, if I'm not watching, these idiots will do whatever they want, because, yeah, I'm saying the ants, that ant, keep your eye on that ant, Sung Jin-woo. He'll eat whatever he wants if you don't keep your eye on him. And Sung Jin-woo's friend, I keep forgetting his name, he says, oh, is your sister alright after went on? And Sung Jin-woo's like, yeah, she's alright. I gave her the best protector I could, which we find out Biru is protecting her, and Sung Jin-woo, to try to check up on his sister, basically uses a new effect of his shadow, I think, saving. He checks out with shadow. He checks his sister out with. Basically, he can connect his senses with the shadows. I thought he could already do this, but I guess not. I guess he can see through their eyes and all that to understand what the hell is going on now. Although it makes sense now that he can check on things, but I think they can still let him know, kind of like how his shadows let him know that his sister was in danger. And then he checks out, and like Biru is just watching some show about kings or a movie about kings. I don't get it, but like Biru is just standing there with the remote in his hand, basically being my king, my king. Like, he's all about that king stuff, my liege, my king, and all that. He's still watching Char, but he's just watching some TV. Like, I get it, the guy's allowed to do stuff off. As long as he's doing his main job, I'm fine with him. I think Central Bruce being, as long as he's protecting my sister, I don't care what he watches on TV. And he checks out on his mom and a whole bunch of people. It's my favorite scene in the whole. It's my favorite panel of the whole chapter. It's just like the White Tiger Guild Master and the Hunters Guild Master is basically like the Hunters Guild guy has probably pissed off the Tiger Guild guy, and it's just like in the background there's like this angry white tiger behind the guy, and I really love that scene. Although we do get to the a little bit more spicy part of the chapter, where Sung Jin-woo checks in Char when she's in the bath, and he's just like, oh no, he was not planning on that, but he's just like he's blushing, like he's probably did see stuff, and you just think maybe I need to make it up for her, maybe I could buy her lunch or something. Yeah, at least buy her lunch and then maybe tell her about that by mistake, and maybe tell her that you have shadows watching her at all times. I suggest not telling her, although she might be into that. I don't know. And like they bring up that the S-rank gate has only got like 3 days until it breaks, so it's probably been like, since it takes a week for a gate to like break, it's only been like, it's been 4 days, so it's been 4 days since the Naga attack. So it's probably been some time. It's been only a few days since then. And then we get to the ceiling guy, who I can't remember how much he asked for. It was definitely in the something 10 million, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was definitely 10 million. And I hope we get to see like Central would go to this gate, and that's basically it for the chapter. We do get to see like a whole bunch of stuff. Like I want to see what this S-rank gate is, because Central definitely needs to go to that, and maybe Japan asks for some help from Korea, maybe some other countries, maybe Australia, and we could definitely get like some more showings of what the hell is going on in the world. Like we could see some Australian hunters, a whole bunch of that. I personally want to see Australian hunters, me personally. And that's it. Good chapter if that's all you've been looking forward to. It was good. And besides that, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and that was it, and see ya.